Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming. Instead of me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag today, and coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace, June's Path. So y'all, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right back into it. Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, June immediately freezes up at the mention of it. Sure, if you want to. You're a terrible liar. Let's see. June said he doesn't really like thrill rides, so I suppose we should stick to the tamer ones. I don't remember them having all that money in the first place. Guess we don't really have many choices to choose from. I'll just make sure to suggest ones that he can enjoy, and that I can stand being on. Wow, that's a lot of choices. Bumper cars. I think out of the ones we can choose, this is probably the most exciting one. I highly doubt anyone could ever classify this as an exciting ride, but at least it's not a boring one. Hey, June, how about we go on the bumper cars? I remember you mentioning wanting to go on that ride. His ears perk up at my mention. Yeah, Oh, one second, y'all. There we go. Oh, yeah, I did, but are you sure you'd be okay with it? Why wouldn't I be, you idiot? It is probably the most exciting ride we could go on without freaking you out. So you really are going to avoid the ones you want because of me. Oh, come on, that's what he took from what I just told him? He can be so annoying sometimes. Yeah, I am. It wouldn't be much fun if I were to go on a ride with you and I had to hold your hand while you freak out, now would it? I guess you're right. You guess I'm right? Last time you clung to me while freaking out, I nearly had to amputate my arm. Now you're just exaggerating. There's no blood flow. Anyway, should we go? He just totally ignored what I said, didn't he? It doesn't take much walking around to reach the line for the bumper cars. Wow, this line looks pretty long right now. How long did you think it's gonna take? A while. You didn't even bother trying to think of it, did you? Neither did you, so don't try to force this on me. June smiles, taking a step to join the waiting line. Well, nothing we can do about that boat wait, I suppose. Is it always like this in amusement parks? Have you really never gone to an amusement park before? Not ever? June shakes his head sideways in negative, putting his arms behind his back and rocking his body back and forth at a slow, steady pace. My parents always told me they were too busy to take me, even when it was obvious they weren't. When I was a kid, I'd really get upset about it, but after I started growing up, I began to notice the look on their face every time they had to refuse me. They weren't doing it because they were busy. They just didn't have the money. Damn, that's heartbreaking. I feel a sudden need to buy him something nice. Well, to answer your question, the bigger parks tend to have bigger lines since they're also a lot more popular. This isn't the biggest park in the prefecture, but it's the closest to where we live. Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't even know where there were other parks. Really? How come? Even if you were living away until a while back, your family's still from this town, aren't they? Yeah, they actually still live in my childhood home. It's just that I had to be transferred to a school on the other side of the country when I was 12. It was actually a boarding school. Oh, you mean a music academy like the one you're trying to get into next year? Something like that, yeah. The line moves 16 people at a time. It's actually going much faster than I thought, changing players every 8 minutes. After the line moves once, we're already in place to join the next round. Do we get to go in the same car? You can fit 2 people if you want, but then one of us doesn't get to drive. Oh, I don't mind driving. I think I'll have much more fun if I'm just riding along with you, Yuichi-kun. If you're okay with it, of course. Why you got flushed to the last line is beyond me. Sure, I don't mind. Yay! June begins jumping around as if he were commemorating a major victory at a tournament of some sorts. Honestly, talk about a weird thing to be excited about. It really amazes me how excited you get over going on a simple park ride with me. Oh, it's just that I've never been to an amusement park before, and now I'm getting to go with a friend, and we're gonna play on the ride together. I can't help but getting excited. Seeing how genuine and unrestrained his joy is brings a smile to my face. I want to make him smile and laugh like this a lot more. I should probably come up with another place to take him after this. No matter how much money I end up spending, it'll be worth it. Look, the line's moving. It's our turn now. The gates open and all the people rush to get a car. Since June and I are sharing one, a 17th person is allowed on the tracks. 1 second, y'all. Water time. Oh, yeah. Good water. We end up getting a bright red car with yellow accents. It was right in the middle of all the other cars. I didn't want to get this one, but June just dragged me to it. Honestly, I think this makes us easy targets. We're probably gonna get rammed to death. You sure you wanted this one? Yeah, I really like the red color on it. Why do you ask? No reason. Alright, Yuichi, buckle up and just try to avoid getting ran off the track. Of course, something like that is literally impossible, but it sure feels like it could happen considering the fact that we're sitting ducks here. The buzzer rings, and with that, our cars come to life. A small energy display lighting up next to the steering wheel to signal that it's now on. Ooh, it's really bright. Really? The light display is a thing that you're impressed by? Ah! Just as I predicted, before we barely even managed to move a few inches, we're already getting bumped by 2 different cars. Run away! Yuichi-san, run away! I'm trying. They're pinching us between them. After getting banged 6 or 7 times... Oh, God, the wording on that. After getting banged 6 or 7 times, I managed to slip away from the 2 cars attempting to turn us into a scrap metal sandwich with a tiger and dog filling. Seeing the 2 cars and bump into each other is one of the most satisfying things I've witnessed all week. And then, when I turned around and hit them both before they could separate, that was the most satisfying thing I've done all week. Yuichi-san, nice one! Jun giggles next to me, completely filled with joy. It's honestly very rewarding to see him this excited. I thought he couldn't get more excited than his usual self, but I was wrong. This is the other level. In less than a minute, the entire track has already turned into a complete and total chaos. I can barely process everything that's going on at the same time. Keeping an eye out to try and avoid possible bangers is quickly sapping my concentration. Then I also have to try and take the offensive. It doesn't help that Jun is, Hey, watch out for that guy! Oh, look at that other guy coming over! Did you see that other guy? I'm torn between continuing to drive or conking him on the head to try and stop him from being a distraction. I eventually decide that violence is wrong, even if totally justified. I just try to leave Jun screaming to the back of my mind and focus on the driving. Oh my God, that guy comes so close to hitting us! Does not make it easy. I barely managed to avoid a car that's speeding right at our back. The satisfaction of watching that guy miss us and hit the wall is priceless. Still, it bugs me that I've been concentrating so much on dodging that I've barely hit anyone this whole time. And I'm pretty sure at least half of our time has already passed. Hit that guy, hit that guy, hit that guy, hit that guy! And my annoying co-pilot is constantly yelling out instructions that tell me to go for it. Should I just go all out? Go on the offensive. Win or loss doesn't matter. I'll take the same approach that I took to tennis. Always take the offensive. I'm already getting bored of just dodging all the time. I want to hit stuff. What? Yuichi said you could have dodged that one! And even though he was the one calling for it just a while ago, Jun completely changes his tune as soon as we start to get hit. I just relegate it to the back of my mind since I'm having way too much fun hitting other people. I just pinned a guy against the wall and the other car started pummeling too. Oh man, he looks really pissed. This is awesome. Yuichi sent the other cars! The other cars are hitting us! Dodge! I guess I might be letting my bloodlust run a little too rampant. In the last 2 minutes, we went from untouchable to the track's biggest target. I don't care. Hitting stuff is too much fun. I probably should never try driving an actual car. Blah! We get bumped by 2 cars at the same time, both hitting us on my side. The shock of the collision makes our car suddenly move to the side, and, as a consequence, I hit the door hard. If that weren't enough, Jun also falls to the side, his head hitting my arm, squishing me in between a door and a tiger place. A door and a tiger place. Ow! A yelp as a sharp pain emanates from my elbow from when I hit the door. What? Oh, sorry! Oh great, now I have to calm down a tiger as he freaks out and try to survive in the track after we suddenly become the easiest target on the game. In the end, despite having quite a few enjoyable minutes just going full sadist and bringing people to pain, our earlier run-in with the physical principle that says objects in movement tend to stay in movement ended up leaving us as sitting ducks. So of course we were completely destroyed by the other cars. Oddly enough, I still had a blast. Although, considering how much Jun was complaining about us getting hit, I thought for sure he'd be annoyed when the ride ended. This was awesome! Instead, he was like this. The way you just completely ran that guy into the wall and didn't let him move was amazing! He just went, yeah, but then he went zoom, and he went splat against the wall. Is this even Japanese anymore? Well, I'm glad you had fun at least. I was afraid you'd be mad at me for not playing how you wanted me to. Nah, I had a blast. Thanks for driving me. I'm sure I had more fun than I ever could if I were the one driving. He's really excited about the whole thing. I guess coming to the park was really worth it after all. Although, I'm a little bit worried at just how excited he got on that basic ride. He couldn't get even more electric than this, could he? I shudder at the thought. Anyway, I need to come up with another ride for us to go on. Let's see. Carousel. We're just gonna go through all the different rides. Well, it's not my favorite ride in the world, but I have to admit that the carousel is a classic. Plus, considering how much Jun has been eyeing it since we came in, I think it's safe to say that he wants us to go there. How about the carousel? Before I'm even done with my sentence, his face completely lights up, beaming in excitement. Really? I've always wanted to go on a carousel. Alright, let's save the carousel for last. Let's do Teacups. I think I remember reading something about this park having recently opened a new ride. It was supposed to be a bunch of spinning teacups that go really fast. I also remember reading somewhere that it could cause nausea. Sounds like the perfect ride. I have an idea. Follow me. You thought of something? Well, what is it? Teacups! Teacups? You mean going to the park's cafe for a cup of tea? I chuckle. Sure, something like that. Yeah. Okay, I have to admit, Jun's confused expression is priceless. But we've used all of our money already. I grin, grabbing his wrist and pulling him by the arm. Just come with me already. Wah! The fact that Jun is completely confused about what's going on only makes the whole thing even better. Let's see, I seem to remember reading that it was somewhere close to the roller coasters. Ah, the roller coasters. How I wish we could ride them. Well, nothing can do if Jun doesn't want to, and I'm not about to make him. I have no idea how he'd react if I did anyway. Aha! After a little bit of walking, we finally reach our destination. There's a giant circular platform where multiple booths in the form of teacups were stationed, each of them on top of their own spinning platform. So while the giant platform would spin, the teacups would spin inside of it. It was supposed to be a fun toy for kids and adults since it mostly plays with speed and centrifugal force. Wait, you mean you want to ride that thing? Jun's face immediately goes pale when he sees it. I, of course, smile. Sure I do. Doesn't it look like fun? Jun stares at the ride, spinning for a few seconds and swallows. Hard. Sure, looks like a blast. Even I can tell that he's hesitant to go on it. Don't get me wrong, I like the idea of surprising him with it, but if he doesn't want to go on there, then there's no point in making him. You sure you're okay with it? You don't look too happy with the idea. Jun snaps back to reality, looking at me for a few seconds and then looking away. No, I didn't mean... It's not that I don't want... I didn't really think... I grab hold of him by his shoulders and shake him gently, looking at the tiger dead in the eye. Jun, breathe. Organize your thoughts instead of just stuttering a bunch of half-sentences. Right. He steps backwards and away from me. I guess he doesn't appreciate being grabbed all of a sudden in public. Anyway, it's not that I don't want to go on it, it's just... Jun looks down at the floor, clutching his chest. I'm just afraid that I might... He trails off before reaching the end of the sentence, leaving me to wonder what he was even talking about in the first place. I curved myself down to be able to look him in the eye. You're afraid of what? That you'll get nauseous? Yeah, that's it. I'm just afraid that I'd throw up. Oh, so that's what it was about. This stupid tiger almost makes me think it was something serious for a few seconds there. Heh, you don't have to worry about that. If you get sick, we can just stop by the restroom and give you a few minutes to rest. Yes, that's true. We can do that. Okay. Geez, you don't have to look so stiff when you're laughing. Are you really that afraid you'd get sick? It's not like the ride goes all that fast, anyway. Well, we should take our place in the waiting line, then. It's not very long right now, but you can never know. Yes, that's true. Before I'm even given the time to turn around, Jun bolts towards the waiting line. Geez, now he's suddenly excited to go on the ride? Honestly, I can't understand him sometimes. Luckily, the line is actually pretty small. The people that were already on the ride left just as soon as we stepped into the line, and then it was our turn. Jun and I enter, going towards a giant blue teacup. One of the sides opens like a car door, allowing us easy entrance. Wow, it's kind of tight in here. I remember reading that it could have been up to 4 people, but I have a hard time imagining even a third person fitting here. I guess they meant kids when they said 4 people. Is there nowhere for us to hold on to? Jun's face looks to be about 2 shades paler. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all? Just as I'm about to suggest we leave, the ride starts to spin. Whoa! It didn't start particularly fast, but since Jun had not grabbed onto anything, the sudden movement makes him slide over on his seat, nearly falling out of it. Whoa, careful! I reach out to grab him before he can fall, pulling the tiger up to me. Whether it be by instinct or his own will, Jun immediately wraps his arms around me, leaning against my chest. Whoa, it's getting faster! I have to admit, watching his reaction is amusing, but I suddenly feel really awkward about having someone clinging so close to me. I have to look away because my cheeks are feeling really hot right now. Just like Jun said, the toy is gradually gaining speed. Right now, it's already fast enough that I can feel my back being pressed against the walls of the cup. If this weren't here right now, I wouldn't be flung off for sure. Whoa, this thing doesn't look all that fast, but from the outside, it's a whole different deal when you're actually in it. To be honest, I'm starting to feel a little queasy. Just as I'm starting to worry that maybe I might get sick from all this spinning, I feel a vice grip tightening even more around my chest. Jun, can't breathe. What? Yuichi said make it stop. When I look down, I see Jun holding me tightly, with tears starting to form around his eyes. His face completely pale and his breathing erratic. Is he crying? Jun? Are you alright? He shakes his head sideways and then buries it on my chest, making it so I can't even see his face anymore. It hurts, but make it stop. Hurts? You mean his stomach is hurting? I start to consider my options here. Would they stop the ride if I asked? I doubt it. Maybe there's an emergency button on it. I mean, people get sick on these sometimes, so they're bound to have an emergency button, right? I tried looking around. It's kind of hard to focus my vision because of the spinning, but eventually I see a big red square with the letter E on it. I don't even consider it. I reach for the emergency, but... And before I can even reach it, I hear an alarm ringing and the ride begins to stop on its own. What? Did the time run out already? I doubt it. I hear one of the doors opening and open looking at the side. I can see the reason why it stopped. I found me on another nearby cup, pressed the emergency button because the woman was feeling ill. I can see her walking out of the cup with her legs quivering. Wait, this is my chance! Excuse me! I lift my arm up and made sure that I can be heard by the operator. The man glances my way, taking his eyes off the family that's still getting down from the platform. My friend is feeling sick. Can we get out? The skunk nods, looking down at his panel and pressing a button. The door to our cup immediately opens. Alright, June, come on, let's get out of here. June gets up, his head still buried in my chest. His breathing is still erratic, and I'm left worried that he might throw up on me. Man, that would suck. Oh, God, he's crying. Oh, God. We step out of the ride and look for a nearby bench to sit on. This whole time, June was still clinging onto me, and I couldn't even see his face. After a few minutes sitting down, his breathing seems to calm down little by little. Hey, June, are you alright? June nods without even looking up. Come on, let me look at your face, okay? Slowly, he looks up. The fur around his eyes is matted, and his face looks pale. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Oh, man, poor June. Hey, guys, let me know if there's a certain combination of rides that are correct, or if I went down the wrong path. Anyway, y'all, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!